Sports. We live and in full effect. Okay. Everything is everything. Make sure the lighting is right. I'm going to go around and, all right, the connection. We're doing March Madness. Sweet 16. Let's get the socials in order. Very good. What's going on? IG Live, what is going on there? Facebook is good. What's up with my IG Live? Oh my goodness. Hate to do this, but we might have a. It's like we got a. IG is not working with me, folks. It's really not working with me. That can't even pay. Hold on, let me see if I can. All right, good. All right, we refreshed. That saved us. Okay. Thought we were going to have to abandon. Never that. If I get in where the true player's at, throw your rollies in the sky, wave them side to side while I give your girl an eye. Okay, so the socials are good. IG, a little bit of refreshing. And it's fresh now. Very good. Lighting here is a little bit off. Lighting is a bit off. We're going to get it right. Make sure to. Okay, all right. Twitter is good. A little bit of a delay here. My bad, folks. IG threw me for a loop. YouTube is what it is. Twitch is what it is. All righty. We're going to rock and roll. I'm going to touch on this lighting in a second. But welcome to SandCity Sports. Your host, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. We're back again to bring you all the sports, current events, news stories that you need to know. Another way that we say that is to the business. How's everybody out there doing on this Friday evening? Here in my chair a little bit. We got March Madness going on. Okay, so Auburn is battling right now with Michigan. Oh, yeah. And Houston is battling with Purdue. So we're going to be following those games very closely. Good matchup. Good battle between your Tennessee Volunteers. Peyton Manning was in the building, and the Kentucky Wildcats, under the leadership of Mark Pope, a program that, hey, showed well. Made it to the Sweet 16 in his first year. And you know, they handled themselves. They represented themselves effectively. Michigan State, close barn beater win over Mississippi State. Is that Ole Miss? No, it was Mississippi State. Get that. Okay, Tom Thibodeau's advancing is the point there. So it's Friday, and I'm ready to sing, get out, and we doing SandCity Sports is live for the madness. Hope everybody out there is doing all right. As I said, had to myself, you know what I mean. Instagram gave me a little run for my money. My IG tried to give me a run for the money, but the IG is good. IG is good, and the Facebook is good. All right, and I look up, and the lighting is right, but I might have to adjust something in a second or three. But I hope everybody out there doing well. And you know what time it is when it comes to the. I'm the Cape Cod kid, but Tom Thibodeau is my coach. No two ways about it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Knicks fan TD. Shout out to CP the franchise. Never play hating. Always congratulate. Whoa! I'm getting anxious here. Hit the, because you got to have your shot right. Is my shot? My shot is good. I'm a little bit anxious, to start the show. But we're gonna get things going. A lot to get to across the land of sports. Have no idea what's going on down there in Tennessee. The executives in Memphis, they need to go to Nashville. They need to hear some good music. They need to get their mind right. No idea why Taylor Jenkins, who was a stout, serviceable, ascending, I'm not going to say elite, but there's a reason Memphis Grizzlies are at the top rather than the bottom of the Western Conference when they've had instability, when they've had turnover as relates to their franchise player in Ja Morant. Okay, but they've weathered those storms, and they came back this year like they never missed a beat, back from a couple years prior when they were battling against the Golden State Warriors, who did come to Boston to steal a championship from us. Say us with a Knicks shirt on, from the Celtics. Yeah, that Grizzlies team, and this is pre-Ja's situation, Ja's issue. Ja, that took up two seems like 3 years. Right? They were right there, a team that is the equivalent of, I'm not, because the Grizzlies are back, but you look at what the Houston Rockets are doing this year under the capable leadership of Ime Udoka. And by the way, that's the name that came to my mind when this whole ridiculousness took place. Never mind the fact of what happened with Mike Brown earlier in the season. What are teams doing? Kings, you just gave Mike Brown all that money. He just had you competitive. If they would have had Malik Monk last year, would have been a different story. Went 6 games with the Golden State Warriors, who were holding on to their dynasty. First time the Kings broke through to the playoffs in a very long time, and you're going to jettison Mike Brown, who's coming from the Greg Popovich tree early on in the season because of this little drama that's going on behind the scene. Has NIL taken over everything? You can't say anything to anybody unless all of a sudden they're going to come at you, jump in your mentions, and cry and complain to ownership, and people are just caving. What's going on here? Where are the Kings now? All right, in no man's land. That's where they are when it comes to the NBA draft. They're not the dumpster fire that the Charlotte Hornets and the Washington Wizards are, neither of whom deserve Cooper Flagg, in my view. Cooper Flagg needs to go to Toronto. Toronto is not. I want him to go to Toronto because Masai Ujiri's there, but who knows what they're doing. Toronto has 18 small forwards. Scotty Barnes, R.J. Barrett. They got Grady, young man Grady Dick from Kansas, whose NBA draft outfit is off the charts, off the chains. I'll get that for you on the screen in a bit. The Raptors, Masai Ujiri, you know what you're doing. You won the championship, you brought Kawhi, you got it done. And you're losing games just to be losing. This was Wendy's take, you bring in Ingram, salary dump, whatever. But Cooper Flagg needs to go to a functional NBA organization. Talk about him staying at Duke for another year to go at it with the Boozer brothers, and go for another natty. That's not happening. He's going to the league. He's going to the league. But he needs to go to a functional organization. Let Philadelphia get that pick. Let Philadelphia get Giddey. Excuse me, Giddey. Cooper Flagg. I'm having flashbacks from that half-court shot. Having some flashbacks. But Taylor Jenks, folks, as we keep pace, a lot going on right now. But I'm not coming down off this soapbox, even though the college basketball is going on. Right? Get it for you. Check the scores and get that for you. This is just out of control. It's corrosive in college with the player movement, but now in the NBA, What do you have to do? And before I step off that soapbox, which I'm coming back to because it's just bananas, this man took the Memphis Grizzlies and their plan, vision. You drafted Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, of course, you could have had Luka. Okay, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is an all-star, and he fits what you're trying to do. I love the fact that they play bigs. People were slandering them for Zach Edey. Zach Edey's filling in for Steven Jackson, who was a very important part of the previous iteration of the Memphis Grizzlies, who, as I just said, and you remember, were challenging the Golden State Warriors, had a lot of chutzpah, too much chutzpah. The chutzpah overflowed, specifically when it comes to Ja. Dylan Brooks was also going out there buck wild, with all, with this young guns and, you know what I mean? And you can't tell, and it's almost, right? Almost like a repeat. I'm not saying that you're like an adolescent, okay? But, I'm dating myself here, but people would remember Deshaun Stevenson years and years ago when LeBron first came in the league that wanted to have, and these guys are both, in my view, junior Ron Artests. Dylan Brooks, who's in tremendous shape and is doing a great job for the Houston Rockets. Deshaun Stevenson, I'm dating myself, but people will remember, and he wanted to have this get tough, and we're going to, rough up LeBron James, as if you could turn back the hands of time and go back to the bad boys Pistons. NBA wasn't having that. Not at all. No. A, and then B, it takes away from the art of the game. That's another reason why you should. It's basketball. It's a freedom of movement sport. It's about artistry, not when, you want to play contact sport, play football. Right? But that was the identity of the men. They were tough, and they're going to be in your face, and they're going to be talking that trash. All right? The new jacks, the young guys coming up that didn't respect nobody. That's, Dylan Brooks going at LeBron. Dylan Brooks getting into it with Clay, getting into it with Draymond, all of this. And then the foul on Gary Payton Jr. Rough and tumble. Lacking skill and efficiency, but making your identity kind of the bruiser team. Right? You should be more focused on the skill as far as I'm concerned. Right? And then that faded, namely because Ja Morant, was living the Vida Loca. Okay, and the summary point of fact is Taylor Jenks rode those waves and have the Grizzlies right now on another upswing. How the heck is this team that's going through all of that at the top of the Western Conference for much of the year ahead of championship contenders, i.e. the Denver Nuggets? No, they're not the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have just, are lapping teams. But it's been OKC in a whole different stratosphere, just like Cleveland, and then Houston, and then Memphis for a majority of the year. Okay, they might have hit us, but they're in the upper echelon of the Western Conference. I don't think a lot of people had them in the upper echelon of the Western Conference. We're supposed to be talking about the Phoenix Suns of the world. We're supposed to be talking about the Sacramento Kings of the world. Who the heck knows what's going on in New Orleans, where Cooper Flag most certainly can't go. Another dumpster fire organization. I said it. With talent. You got McCollum. You had Ingram. You have Zion, Willie Green has been a good coach. Why are these teams so awful? Never mind what's going on in Utah. Another team Cooper Flag can't go to. I don't do this tanking foolishness, folks. We're going to talk about college. I don't do the tanking. Functional organization just going out there and putting forward a pathetic product. Why is Utah so bad? Will Hardy can coach. They got Laurie. There's no excuse for some of these teams being, as to quote Stephen A. We're going to talk about Stephen A. and LeBron. Moribund. No excuse. So none of these teams get Cooper. None of them. No Utah, no New Orleans, no Washington, no Charlotte. We ain't doing that. Listen, we talk. We NBA has a way, has a habit. Want to go back to? We need to get this for you on the screen. How's everybody? I hope everybody doing other good. It's a Friday night, baby. No. Es suavemente besame. Friday night, baby. So we ain't got no restrictions on SandCity tonight. And March Madness. We're gonna go however this long. If we got to go 2 hours, three is, but we going in tonight. It's SandCity Sports. on a Friday, March Madness, and it's okay. I'm hot about this. You know who my coach is, Tom Thibodeau. New York wouldn't. I'll be on I-95 in a. Woo! Don't mess with my man Tibbs. Okay, I don't have a must. You know what I mean? I'm working class hero over here, but I'll put the Camry on the road if y'all mess with Tibbs, and I'll be to the James Dolan, who's been doing good. You've been doing good, James. But we ain't gonna have no foolishness when it comes to Tibbs. And the hateration people, I wish any and all of the. There needs to be something. This is SandCity Sports, but I got to make it more prominent that I feel I am, frankly, because I don't know, the foremost defender, okay, of the Tom Thibodeau. Are we a brigade? Tom Thibodeau. We're gonna think about what kind of classification. You know what I mean? But there will be no disrespect. You can have your Tibbs takes, of course. You can say whatever you want about Tibbs, but I'm coming back at you. With fire. That's for he played people because he make people show up to work. Oh my goodness, Josh Hart is playing 40-something. Check the receipts on Allen Iverson, and we're gonna get to the Patrick Ewing's. I gotta get this. Oh my goodness, these guys, they're getting injured because they're playing for Tibbs. Heaven forbid you ask somebody to show up for work when you have the best job in the world. Heck is wrong with people? Y'all done forgot the answer? Allen Iverson, 6'1", $165, state champion in Virginia in football. As good a football player as he was a basketball player at 6'1", 165. He's not a big dude. He has great functional strength. He doesn't have great physical strength. Muscle on muscle. Those highlights to this day are ridiculous. When he was doing on the football field, NVA from Newport News, of Michael Vick and Lawrence Taylor fame. My man AI got to the association. We talking about practice. Not a game, practice. My man went out there every single night, gave you 40. AI come out the game. What are you doing, Larry Brown? You think this is? Think I showed up to sit on the bench? I'm here to give the people what they came to see. Heck is wrong with you? What we doing over here? And y'all want to get in your feelings about Thibodeau because you have the best job in the world and he let you cook. Any basketball player knows this. NBA, CBA, whatever. Why do you think LeBron James, who's got other interests, okay, fine. And he's up there in the years, okay? But LeBron is in year 20. We're talking about prime LeBron in Miami, MVP LeBron. I'm giving you 82 games. I can play 40 minutes, all these analytic numbers. Where are all the load management people? Street clothes. It's ridiculous. I have no time for it. And there's no scientific verification that all this sitting and all this, and never mind all the benches, you have cushions like they're sitting in a cloud, all these things. And all Tip asks you to show up to work and go out there and work out. Oh, he's playing too many minutes, and guys, oh my goodness. Certain players need to rest. My man OG, the last OG, he gonna get some rest. The Catman do. When I say Catman dude, my people from New York. Fat Man Scoop, Crook Cran, Timberland. Shout out to Fat Man Scoop. We Fat Man Scoop, shout out. That was a big deal when I was back in college in the 2000s. Coming from the Cape, being back in the New York area. My Fat Man Scoop, Power 94.5, baby. I turn it on. And Fat Man Scoop, you know what I mean, gave me that energy, and we ready for the day. But I call him Catman Scoop. That's Carl Anthony. Okay? He's got to rest. But my man Mikal Bridges, we take no days off of this. We coming out every single night giving you. All right? We out every single night. Oh, you're going to wear down. And oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Get out of here with that foolishness. Could get injured. Get injured walking across the street. All right? And it's the people. What do they say? You know, when you're worried about injury, that's when the injuries come. When you're worried about the injuries, that's when the injuries come. People want to throw Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose had knee issues going back to Simeon. Stop it. Derrick Rose's knees was hurting him in Memphis. Go ahead and check the game film. He had degenerative knee issues. Well, he having knee issues, so Tibbs should have. Now, when you do Derrick Rose putting on for his city, stop it. Now, that said, let me be a little bit empirical, if we will, or balanced, right? I think with Derrick Rose, yes, he had the MVP season, and he was kind of off the charts, and he was just out there cooking, right? I will concede with D Rose. Okay, we could have done load management, not him not going out there and playing and giving the people what they needed to see in the MVP season. I believe it was 2011. Okay, but with Derrick Rose, we could have done, because Derrick Rose is certainly in the same category as the last OG and Cat Manscoop. That's his pedigree. So Derrick Rose needed load management. I will concede that. Okay, I had no problem with the minutes. When he's out there, go ahead and play. No, I do have a problem with the minutes. Let me keep it a buck. Let me keep it a buck, because he's a different case. He's a different case. Okay, everybody is not Mikal. Everybody is not Josh Hart. Okay, so some folks, for good reason, need to rest. Yes, and Tibbs does rest those guys. Well, he didn't rest D Rose. Okay, that I will. All right, with D Rose, but at the same time, he's in the MVP season, though, folks. All right, and this is a little bit before all of, what I mean? So I'm not going to kill Tibbs. I think the way that Tibbs is handling Jalen Brunson in the new era is what, in the best of all possible worlds, we would have seen with Derrick Rose. But again, folks, let's keep it a buck. This was the same time, and we are going to get to college basketball. Let's go ahead and check those scores. We got a lot tonight, folks. You don't fire good coaches and not get fired from SandCity Sports and not get some heat. You don't fire, all right, leaders of men, all right, because they didn't put a cherry on top of somebody's birthday cake in the locker room. What are we doing? And now, us not going back to D Rose. That was the era. Let's remember, this was before analytics. People were laughing at Daryl Morey. They laughed at him when he was talking about using simulation from 2K and numbers, and threes are better with twos. This was back when Kevin McHale, who was a great basketball ambassador, good general manager, not just because he sent KG to Boston to get the champ. Not just because go ahead and we done it before. Check the receipts on Kevin McHale as a post player and just the domination. But just a basketball lifer, was in the front office, came down and coached, He was on the coach of the Houston team that took away the Clippers shot at the finals. Do we remember that? When they were up 16-17 in the fourth quarter against the Houston Rockets without James Harden, who was on the bench because he was, in his feelings, before he was unlocked by Mike D'Antoni, who put him at the point guard. We remember that? Who put James Harden to the bench for the team to get the dub, to take away a championship opportunity from the Clippers, who were the last team to beat the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs? That was your boy Kevin McHale. He knows his business, right? In this day and age, when Daryl Morey went to Kevin McHale with analytics, he took the analytics and put it in the trash. Not the recycle bin. He just threw the joint in the trash. I ain't even recycling this stuff. Trash. We don't do analytics. Okay, I'm a basketball lifer. I have instincts. I can see things. We go in the old school way. This is he didn't want to get down with Moneyball. He didn't want to get down with Moneyball. Okay. Not that Kevin McHale was a bad coach. D'Antoni was the right coach. D'Antoni unlocked Harden. He unlocked. The Harden that we know today is D'Antoni, because he was having issues with his teammate. You know what I mean? And he was. We didn't get prime Harden. No. He's the quarterback. He's the point guard. He's not a point guard. He's not a shooting guard. He's a vanguard. Shout out to Jalen Rose. Shout out to the Leadership Academy in Detroit. Never player hating, always congratulating. That was what he said about Steph Curry, how he changed the game. Respect. Respect to Michigan. Hard. I was thinking about it today. If you've ever seen Flint Town on Netflix, that's a great. Yeah, and I haven't even watched the whole thing. I only watched a couple episodes, but I was like, that's woo. That give you the boys of Flint. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I know Jalen Rose is Michigan, so we ain't gonna confuse them. Yeah, we ain't gonna confuse it. But Flint is where you get a lot of Izzo prospects. You get a lot of Izzo. Okay, Jalen Rose. How did I get? You know what I mean? I'm going through so many different points. Got to make the connecting. But let me just come back to again, Tibbs, D Rose. Could have handled that differently. Yes, indeed. Yes. Excuse me, vote. I ain't going. And I had some things lined up, and I'm gonna come back and get that squared how it needs to be. It's not good, I gotta write some things down. But let me take this as an opportunity. Thank you, folks. Anybody tuning in television land on this Friday night. I mean, it's a Friday night, so if you out there moving and grooving, doing what you're doing, you know what I mean. Cape Cod kids not mad. I ain't mad at you. I'm doing the SandCity Sports. I'm doing the Passion Project. This is my Friday night. But I hope your Friday night is a beautiful thing and is good. I can't, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, man. I'm like a breakfast lover during the molasses flood. Check out the molasses flood. That's an actual thing that happened in Boston. A flood of molasses. But this is a beautiful thing for me. My man Bobby Ross. Yeah, I got the Bob Ross channel on. We ain't doing Bob Ross right now. We ain't doing Bob Ross. Bob Ross is the man. But no, we gotta get into this college sports and get those games going on. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Come on, work with me. This should have been done. Producer right now is upset. This should have been done going into the program. Come on. There we go. Go across and see if we can get the game on. It doesn't want it. Okay, finally. And then remote control don't want to work. Doesn't want to work with you. You know what I mean? It's like remote control. You ain't going abide. I think because I have the wrong angle. I got the right angle. Okay, yeah. Let's go. Let's get that Houston game on. This is the game I need to see. Okay, so we'll keep pace on the Houston game and of course the Auburn game. These are my two coaches that I want to see do what they do. Oh my goodness, and we got the women's championship going on as well. It's a beautiful thing right now. Auburn is woo-wee! Two battles. Auburn and Michigan halftime, a 1-point affair, and it's a 1-point throwdown with the Houston Cougars and the Purdue Boilermakers, whose coach, a lot of respect, Matt Painter, have that correct. Tennessee, Purdue Boilermakers head coach. Yes, a lot of respect. These teams that get knocked out in the first round of the playoffs of the tournament, as Painter did, and then storm back and make it to the NCAA championship game like he did last year. People were sleeping on Zach Edey. We we got love and respect for Donovan Clingan, who's a New England guy. I believe he's from Connecticut, played for the Spartans, not a sneaker team. Okay, we got to get some imagery. I promised Patrick Ewing at the NBA draft, but I've gone so far away from that. Oh, this is a beautiful thing. So we got the Houston game. We locked in on March. Beautiful thing right here, folks. So we SandCity. So we got 4 minutes to go. We going at least to the end of these two games. SandCity's gonna be with you. So we here tonight. We here tonight on that Friday night. You understand? So yes, Kelvin Sampson and Bruce Pearl. Those are my two teams to win it. Auburn or Houston. Houston first. Kelvin. It's just and then Bruce Pearl, and he been around. Throw Rick Barnes in there, a close third. Rick Barnes just has been doing it since time immemorial, and we need the wealth to be spread. Be great for all of these coaches. By the way, none of whom are complaining about NIL. None of whom are poking their lip out about market capitalism, which they've benefited greatly from. All of whom are just glad to be coaching through the different phases and waves of their career, right? The calling of it, the destiny of it that some people feel, and coaching, whether it be whatever, law enforcement, law, accounting, plumbing, electric, whatever it is, right? Your career, your passion. There's something a lot deep in you, that just needs to express itself. Okay, and that's how I feel about Calvin Sampson and Bruce Pearl. They've, it would be nice if everyone could be a Dean Smith or a Coach K and just have your entire career at one institution when you are, at that level, or a Mark Few at Gonzaga, who's also in this conversation of people that I want to see get their due. Okay, but the other journeys are, how do we say, circuitous, over, around, back, forward, sideways. That's been Kelvin Sampson's journey. And I'm, Houston, again, Houston hasn't been Houston in 40 plus years. Early 80s, Phi Slamma Jamma. That's when Houston was on the basketball map. And they hadn't been on the basketball map since Clyde and Akeem left. And he's now brought them back. And it seems like they never left. It's an amazing story. They moved into the Big 12 now, so they're in a Power 5 conference. But he was doing this from a mid-major conference, i.e. Gonzaga, for a number of years. And it made no difference. Houston, one of the fastest growing cities in the country, if not the fourth largest city in the country. So no shortage of talent. But he's not necessarily getting the top tier talent. That's, but there's no shortage of talent in the city. And he took that talent and then turned this school, again, a backwater afterthought, into a national power. Purdue is giving them everything they can handle. So yeah, this is the tournament, man. This is the tournament. We got one of these two teams has to go home. It might be Kelvin. That would hurt my heart, but respect for Matt Painter. Just like it hurt my heart that Patino had to go in the second round. I'm upset about that, frankly. This was St. John's year to make a run, make a move, at least to the Sweet 16, if not the Final Four. We needed that, Florida St. John's matchup. It didn't happen. It ended early. It's just, it's a monster. When we think about what we deserve in life, and I'm upset, and I'm not getting my just due, and these people are against me, and those things may be and are many times are true. Okay, but what March Madness shows us is the competition out there is fierce. We all want the good. We're told that we deserve the good, and we're going to get the good from every angle now. Everybody's highlights all the time on the social media. We only see highlights 24/7, 365. Okay, slight exaggeration, but not really. Okay, we also get updates, community things, which are very important, that we can connect. That's the really good part about social media. And it's great to get the affirmation. That's what I'm saying. It's great. You know what I mean? Post the highlights. That bring the light to the darkness that's out there. Post the highlights and continue. Yes. But what March Madness shows us is them real highlights, them real ones. And I have a clip for this. What's gonna happen is, because we're doing the IG live. Shout out to my people on IG live. I appreciate you. And I have a number of things that I share that I get from IG, right? Because as much as you want to talk about screen time, which is a conversation, I don't know if it's just me. Instagram is fascinating. Yeah, that joint fascinating. So many just, somebody myself who studied philosophy and history, and I'm getting so many just dimes and gems and perspectives, and I got to speak on some of these things. I got to speak. You just give me food for thought. Now, I do need to get away from the scrolling time and do some push-ups and sit-ups. That's true. We got to do that. 29-29 game. This is just a battle, a chess match. Houston and Purdue. Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. There's just poetry in motion both ways. And a proud program and an elite coach is going home tonight. That's just the way it is. Right? And a great storyline and everything else. Can Purdue make a run without Zach Edey? And I done told you about Kelvin Sampson in Houston. Long overdue. One of these guys going home. Period. Now, they're not going anywhere from because they done brought prosperity to their program. So they have job security, but no natties. This year at least. None. So that's instructive in terms of we want to have what other people have, the hot, bruh. Okay. What did Moses Malone say to Charles? This I've been promising. This I have to get for you right now. I got to get this clip. I've been promising clips. Now you're getting a clip. Nope, give me. I need the clip, and this is a little bit of a throwback. I gotta find it. Moses and Charles running on the track. When I used to. I believe this is it. Come on, NBA TV. Do not let me down. Do not let me down for the DJ crown. Shout out to you. And the picture alone is crazy. No, it seems like you're going to be talking about it, not walking about it. It's a great clip, but are you going to? No, he's just talking about it here. The late, great Bill Walton. Okay, some bad programming here. I had it better. Dead air is not good.
So you went 5th to the 6th.
Okay, we might be able to get it here. We might be able to get it here. Apologies for the delay. Going back and forth. But we have to do it. We have to do it. Halftime, Purdue up 2. And this is how I'm sharing the screen. This is the late, great David Stern. Shout out to Greenlight. Not familiar, but we're going to get familiar. And a little bit of talking, but hopefully we get the footage.
So you went 5th to the Sixers, right? So you're kind of in that zone where you might know you almost go somewhere else. Some people like you. Maybe if things fall differently, you're on a different team to start your career. Were you close to being anywhere else?
Well, I knew I was going to go 4, 5, or 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dallas had 4. They took Sam Perkins. Philly took me at 5 and 6. The Wizards took Melvin Turpin. So I knew I was going to go 4, 5, or 6. I had no idea where I was going to go. But it was the greatest thing for me, guys, because, I played about 300 pounds in college.
Yeah.
And I was in college for 3 years, and I led the SEC in rebounding every year. So I felt like, I had my shit together, but I didn't. So I go to the Sixers, and I'm not getting to play.
Here we go.
And right away, I'm struggling. And Moses having to live, Moses, who I call Dad, rest in peace, was the greatest influence in my basketball career. I said, Moses, can I come? He stayed in the penthouse. I stayed way down on the bottom. Let's get that out the way. And I said, Moses, can I come see you later? He says, yeah, young fellow, you can come see me. I said, Moses, why am I not getting to play? He says, young fellow, you fat and you lazy. I'm like, what? He says, you fat and you lazy. And he said, Charles, you're fat and you can't work hard. You can't play basketball in the NBA at 290, 300, 295, 300 pounds. So this guy who was already one of all-time greats says, I'll meet you every morning.
Yes.
I'll meet you every night. And he made me lose. He said, let's lose 10 pounds. So I get to 290. I'm starting to feel better. I get to 280, 270. And now I'm starting to get to play. I get to 260 and I get to 250. And this guy helped me lose 50 pounds and turn me into an all-star and a Hall of Famer. And Chris, you've been around guys. You've seen guys eat their way out the league before because they didn't have the discipline to lose the weight and get in shape. And I've seen that 10, 15 times in the NBA. Get drafted by the Sixers was the greatest thing for me because Moses was great to me and make me lose all that weight. Dr. J talked to me about saving my money. Because, the last thing you want to be is one of these damn idiots who on TV now boxing, getting knocked out and doing stupid shit because they don't wasted all their money.
Yeah, I mean.
Dr. J taught me, he said, son. So Dr. J, I had like 7 cars. Dr. J said, son, how many of those cars can you drive at the same time? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I said, what do you mean? He's like, well, why do you have 7 or 8 cars? I was like, I like them. He says, son, this money got to last you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. He says, we're coming over today. And I'm like, okay. So all the guys came over and they took all my cars back and said, hey, save your damn money, Rook. They said, pick one car. We're taking the rest of them back to the dealership so you can get your damn money back. Because you don't need 7 cars. That's money wasted. He says, it's not the fact that you can't afford the cars.
Yeah.
That was his message. He says, it's not the fact that you can't afford 7 cars. It's the fact those 6 of these cars could be in your bank account and stocks and things like that and grow. And in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, it'll be worth a lot of money. It's worth 0 money sitting in your damn in your house, at your house. So getting drafted by the Sixers, Moses getting me in shape.
Yes, indeed. You see what I'm saying there? We get the point. Okay. Moses said, you got to get mean, you got to get hungry, and you got to come to play every night. That's what's instructive about March Madness. Okay, when we go through our go-through, and it's okay, but at the same time, you come back and you say, hey, this is what I have to do to get to where I want to go, and you get out there and you get it done. Get it done. So, halftime for Houston and Purdue. And Auburn, Michigan. Woo! Michigan up 3. 13:50 to go. Okay, it's getting interesting, folks. It's getting interesting. Michigan up 5. Come on, Bruce Pearl. Okay, respect to the maize and blue. Juwan Howard not there, okay. Pulling for Coach Howard, and they've gone in a different direction. It is what it is. My respect for the Fab Five goes back to when they were. My respect for Michigan goes back to the Fab Five. Let's keep it 100, right? When the Fab Five was doing what they was doing. Okay, that's the Michigan love for me. So that's always, we talk about it. I got to get this for you on the screen. Okay. We talking college sports. Really appreciate, even though we didn't get a chance to see Moses and Charles, we got to get the Michigan Fab Five. You know what time it is. You want to talk about a cultural force? You want to talk about them banners needing to go back up? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Let's get this for the people so that they can see and appreciate. Right now, Michigan, it's not the Fab Five, but they woo-hoo-hoo. They challenging. Bruce, come on now. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. What the heck? Heck out of here. Close this advertisement. How dare you? Dismiss. How dare you? How dare you? All right. And again, this is something that youngsters, okay, up and comers, if you will, guys. Before this, it just looks like regular. I mean, why are they so confident? Before these guys, we were wearing it was running shorts that you were playing in. Want to talk about hip huggers? Want to talk about close to your thigh? Now again, if you want to, but you know what I mean, basketball player. Let me get my lock. When I get into my lockdown defense, we need space. You didn't have. They changed literally the attire of basketball, okay, and the fashion of basketball. Owes an incredible debt of gratitude to the Michigan Fab Five. No word, no way, two ways about it. Never mind the fact that they tour de force, went 2 straight two straight natties. Okay, first one against Duke in their prime was not close. Okay, so Duke wasn't having that peak prime Duke. Okay, late in their senior year, Grant Hill, Bobby Hurley. So, but the next year against Carolina hurt. Yeah, that hurt. The timeout, and they're a very good Carolina team. They're very good. Somebody's got to lose. But yes, the Fab Five, just a cultural phenomenon. And we need those banners back. I want to complain because they got people got a extra casserole or Danish, and so now they can't have a national championship. Baloney. All right. Right now, the Michigan Fab Five challenging. Where are we at now? Up 6-11 and change to go. No yawning on SandCity Sports. And we are going to keep our eyes on that. Houston still at the half. Great halftime crew. Jay Wright in the building. Jay Wright's talking basketball. I am listening. No two ways about that. And really interesting to see the coach at Maryland, okay, whose name escapes me. I'm going to get it right now, is heading to Villanova. Maryland. Kevin Willard heading to Villanova to kind of restore that team. It's tough. It's tough to replace, these top of the line coaches, right? Providence Friars, I'm not talking out of school, struggled this year. Okay. Well, everybody, Ed Hurley and post Ed Hurley years, it's going to be, have some challenges. Okay. And Jay Wright steps away. Again, man, them brought prosperity to Villanova, put them back on the map like the Rolly Massimino days, multiple natties, strong culture. So you're not going to find that just around the corner. So they went ahead and got Kevin Willard, who's built up Maryland. So he's going to be coming over to get the Wildcats back in order. But Jay Wright talking to talk right now at halftime of the Houston-Purdue game. Okay, folks, talk coaching in the NBA. Let me see. Do we have talked about the draft for the NBA? Let's scan it. So NBA right now, okay, I think we're I've said what I've said about Taylor Jenkins and just quickly. So what we're gonna do here is because I think about it, I got to speak a little bit on Deion and how he secured him a bag. People are saying different things, and did he get too much money? Did not enough money based on the impact that he's had? I have no problem with Deion getting all of his money. We're gonna get into that. Need to discuss what happened yesterday in Chicago in terms of the half-court shot. Let's get that for you on the screen. Shout out to the Fab Five. Okay. Revolutionary. Yes, I said it. That's the word that we need for this team. Okay. Just talent-wise, back-to-back natty-wise, 5 freshmen, just taking the AAU, bringing it to college, and having the success. But, amongst all those things, the attire. the modern basketball attire. Okay, this is the Rubicon River when it comes to basketball wear. Fat Five of the Rubicon. Okay, before this, basketball was played in running attire, marathon attire. Okay, after this, now it's what we think of as basketball gear. Okay, shorts, baggy. Okay, don't need to be down to your shins, but you know what I mean. You know, down to your knees, or there's about. Okay, you know, and you can run around, you can move, and doesn't slow you down a bit. And we move and groove and go from there. So you might have seen it. No issue in seeing it again. But it's not necessarily that's the introduction to the conversation, because we need to talk about LeBron, Stephen A. Smith as well. Yeah, we need to talk about, but this, we can start with the game winner, and then we need to deconstruct. I think so. We need to deconstruct LeBron. Okay, don't need any volume for this, and let's go ahead. Okay, Murphy's Law, right? Whatever can go wrong will go wrong for the Lakers. Up 5, under 2 minutes to go. And everything, including a half-court shot, is going to happen for them to lose the ball game. Yeah, it's going to take time. Happy for the people in the Windy City. Hurt for that Lakers fan and the Lakers in general. It's going to take time. Just mean what? We don't want Luka Doncic anymore because there's growing pains? No. You saw the bump, that first swell of enthusiasm and, appreciation and energy and all the rest of that. That's what you get, the honeymoon phase. And now you're into, the long haul, the marriage. In a very competitive Western Conference, a very competitive league. So, yeah, we got to figure some things out, got to iron some things out, and they will. Okay, I was never of the mindset people wanted to put them in the championship conversation because that's what they could be in 2K if you just put them, if you're a good 2K player, and now you have Luka Doncic on the Lakers, so you have 2 all-world players and a bunch of serviceable role players. Austin Reeves, Hayes can go out there and board up. Finney Smith and Gabe Vince, you're right there. Okay, but it's the band just got together like 3 weeks ago. Teams have been together for years and have been building, right? OKC paid their dues, took their lumps last year against a Dallas team who probably they were more talented. It's close, because you got Kyrie and Luka, and you're getting prime Kyrie and Luka. All right, and OKC's made some very important additions. Taking iHeart from my New York Knicks, taking iHeart from who? Who was developed by whom? People want to slander Tibbs. You want to slander Tibbs, but where did iHeart come from? You want to slander Tibbs. Where did Jimmy Butler come from? You want to slander Tibbs. How did Derrick Rose get 50 in Minnesota? You want to slander Tibbs. Okay, we keeping receipts. Okay, but OKC improved, but they were solid last year with the future and Chet Holmes and Shea and Jalen Williams, Lou Dort, others, and Giddey, So, yeah, they built for the future. Maybe the more talented team, maybe not the most experienced, clearly, and they took their lumps last year. So now this year they are ready with the vengeance of that defeat, that sour taste that they haven't forgotten. Right? They're super duper ready. So the Lakers were never on that level. As good of a storyline as that might be, they weren't there, period. Now, it doesn't mean that they need to be out of the playoffs altogether in terms of being in the plan and then just this cold streak to put them in the lottery. They should be in the playoffs. A lot of teams in the West should be in the playoffs. So there's been a slide Okay. But JJ Redick has impressed me in terms of how he's dealt with the ups and downs of this year and had the Lakers towards the top of the Western Conference. So that's how I feel that the basketball side will correct itself, and they'll find and you go out there, you make the playoffs. If they lose in the front, yeah, it's fine. Do I think they're going to make the divisional round? No, because you got OKC, you got Denver's going to be there. Houston or Memphis, who knows what Memphis, so let's just say Houston, I think, is going to be there because they've been there all year in my divisional round. And then who's the other 4 team? Is it Golden State because of the hot streak that they're on? The Clippers because they're such a strong organization no matter what happens? The Lakers, we don't know. Dallas is out of there now. Let's take a look at the standings in the West so I can just make sure I don't got the tournament on the one, make sure I don't miss anybody. No, not the stats. Thank you for the standings. Right? Who's going to be the 4th team? It's going to be OKC. It's going to be Denver. I'm saying Houston, the number 2 seed currently. All right. Is it going to be Lakers? It's going to be the Grizz. It's going to be the Clips. Warriors. T-Wolves have been playing better. Julius getting in his groove. Who's going to be? And the Lakers, notwithstanding all of this, 4 and 6 in their last 10 still have home court advantage in the second round. They're tied with Memphis, but 2 games ahead of the Clippers. So it's not great. It's not really good, but in the midst of all this, the Lakers are still top 4 in the West. What the heck is going on? So, breakthrough. Merit-wise, I'd like to see the Clippers get it because they've just been people just forget about them because they're not driven by stars. But they've been the most consistent. Golden State's a great story. I don't think this iteration, I think the dynasty is over, and I don't think, but you're seeing Steph not going down without a fight, which I love to see. And LA, hang on in there. Okay. Now let's move to the other quote unquote other situation, but LeBron and Stephen A. It's almost become the situation, right? It's secondary, but because these two are at the pinnacle of their respective careers, never mind, you don't always see this Titan against Titan clash. You kind of wonder, 2 people that are conscious and have, a social responsibility mindset. You think, is this the best use of 2 of these very influential individuals that impact American life off the court and away from the realm of sports? Is this the best use of their time? Who knows? Is it helping both of their brands? Absolutely. But you know what I'm talking about. The visuals are important. Not going to be so long of a transition. Yeah. Let's get the. So we saw the mean mug. It's not really the best picture of LeBron. I guess we're going to have to just go from how it all went down. We're going to have to go from the Genesis. And no thanks. Nikki Glazer's very talented. Okay, So I meant what I said about professionally, although there's more money going into the coffers of LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith because of this, and it leading in the news cycle, which I tip my hat and I'm happy for people that have the success. But to get it at this cost and in this capacity is not the best at all for me. And where I'm going with this is, when LeBron went on, Pat McAfee took the time. He has a right to do that. He has every right to do that. I mean, he didn't, he could have just done it on his own podcast, frankly. And there's an element of in your face going to Pat McAfee, the program that partners, is right after First Take, to give, a big bump to the competition. Look at it that way. And, I don't fault LeBron at all. I think, it's a shrewd move, frankly. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I'm not saying that Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith are enemies. I'm saying they're competitors within the same company. And it's not difficult to see that LeBron taking his ginormous brand and partnering it with the program, which under the same banner, but still a friendly, if not fierce competition with Stephen A. Smith, in First Take. That's, as I said, it's shrewd, is what it is. And he goes on, and Pat McAfee does a great job interviewing, and his program is great. I don't listen to it as much because, I working during those hours in a collective environment. But so, yeah, it continues. It continued, certainly did continue the feud with Stephen A. And while at the same time, lifting LeBron up, and he wants to do things his way, and it was done his way, and it was to his benefit. Okay, so that side of it is said. In Stephen A.'s response, let me be clear to start with. It was, a varied and well-constructed reply by Stephen A. Smith on First Take. We looked at a number of different angles. He did the whole Michael and LeBron side of it. He did the touched on the LeBron, who's, a media mogul, a billionaire, just a conglomerate onto himself. And now he has a way of doing things, so we know LeBron, just a person, okay, but he is, a financial empire as well. Okay, and Stephen A. he kind of factored that in. Bottom line is, the next bottom line, highly successful people are still people and don't like other people. And, there is the financial side, because, there is the WWE side of this, right? That we have this spat and we go at it, and it's interesting, right? It contributes to the attention economy and keeps us up there. That's not what I'm getting at. I'm getting at the fact that these two highly successful people that have plenty of other things to do with their time are taking time to make it abundantly clear that they don't like each other. And I'm not going to be civil about this, and I'm not going to be professional about this, and I'm not going to just keep these, deep-seated grievances and feelings and angst that is very much a part of the beautiful show of sports that we see. You watch a great broadcast on ESPN for the playoffs, for the regular season, for the finals, and it just goes off. It's like, wow, that game was great, and it was formatted and structured in a great way, and we watch it, and we do the fantasy sports, and we argue about it, and it's just a great production. And then you move on to the next production. Excuse me. So what this reveals is that this should have been clear. You know what I mean? We get thinking about sports and sports kind of being the forum for the dreams and aspirations and manifest destinies that we have for ourselves. We can live it out through sports, and that's what we see, and that's how we view things many times, not factoring in the very clear and abundantly obvious human element. It's a bunch of people, flawed, insecure, capable, dynamic, angry, frustrated, confused, brilliant people that are making all of this go. Right? And yeah, obviously we're all people and we're human beings, not, on Mars. We get all that. But what this is evidencing is that those highly successful people are not above, irregardless of the financial benefits, the same petty disputes and arguments that the people in the stands are having, the people at the office are having, the people in families are having. That as we get older, we say to ourselves, did I really need to devote energy to that? Did I really need do I really need to dwell on that? Or do I just need to come to an understanding in my mind of what this situation is and keeps it moving? Be on and about my business. Why is it that when we have these issues with people that we know beforehand are probably most likely irreconcilable, why do we charge straight into those same issues and towards those people? Why do we do that when we've already arrived at the conclusion that it's irreconcilable? So why do we forward march right into it? We already know. You get a little bit older and you say, what we need here is distance. That's what we need. Shut up. Now, we talking Stephen A. Smith and LeBron. I'm keeping this for you on the screen. But shout out to Sonny in the Bronx Tale. The very first time that I saw your brown eyes, your lips said hello, and I said hi. I knew right then you were the one. That's not a Bronx Tale, folks. That's a little updated myself. That little bit of Shy. And if I am ever fall in love, that's a little Shy for you right there. That ain't bro, that's Shy. It's a little different right there. That's different. Okay, but my people that know, I can't get the Bronx Tale for you, even though I want to. But we know that story of Collier, his little bitty boo, his boo there. That was from the other side of the tracks. Oh! But the Bronx Tale, we know that was Robert De Niro's directorial debut. And we know De Niro loved them sisters. We know it. Mr. Mambo Italiano. He in Spanish. He in Harlem, baby. I'm dead. I got my man Robert De Niro was in Harlem at the, shaking it up. Your fast, yeah. Cash, yeah. Can you see De Niro in the club playing that bass music? They were playing the bass music and De Niro's in there it's like, Bob, I knew you was a dude. De Niro out there, hey. So that's right. We learn from a Bronx Tale amongst many things. Not about just better to be feared than loved. Not about the saddest thing in life being wasted talent. Okay? But we learn, hey, why are you chasing after this dude for $10, for $15? I know you got to get your money. I know you got to collect. And you know what I mean? And business is business. And we standing on business. We standing on that thing right there. We going to stand on some business. I get all of that. But conversely, Houston's up 3. Okay. Well, we got 17:30 to go, folks. This SandCity Sports on a Friday. It's 11:52. There's no end in sight for this episode. None. We got college basketball going past. It's a beautiful thing right now, folks. It's beautiful. You feel me? Houston, okay. Hi! You said hi! Make a little move. Now, we saw how Duke made a move in terms of adjustments in the second half. Your boys from AZ came back on them. They came back on them. Yes, they did. But Duke made adjustments to come out the second half and put it on them. Put it on them. And so we might see if, again, the game within a game, we'll see if Houston is able to get some distance. Oh, rhythm 3. Missed it. Houston, you know they out. You know they're going to play some defense. We lock them down and we out into the transition game. Okay, settle. He's settling. Yep, run it up. Kelvin Sampson, call it up. Coming to the chess match. Okay, under 10. Coming under 10 for the clock. Ooh, pull up. No, not a great set. Oh, Houston going to rebound. Pull it out. They're going to pull it out. Start again. Oh, rhythm 3. Clink. Somebody might need a timeout. Houston's up 8. Matt Painter said he wants. No, Matt Painter's going to play. He's going to play. He's going to play through. He's going to play through that. Okay. We playing right through. Double him up. Run him off the line. Uncontested 3. You don't put a hand up. You ran 2 people off the line only to give up an uncontested 3. What? We know who wouldn't stand for that. We know who wouldn't stand for that. Somebody want to say something? We know who wouldn't stand for that. Okay, Houston got the offense cooking. They come back with 2. But this game is heating up right now. 7-point lead. Houston has got a little bit of space. 15. Oh, we got over 15. We doing March Madness. Shout out to the refs. Only 2 fouls called. Let them play, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, up fake. Get him out of here. Yes. Beautiful basketball from Purdue. Houston, you didn't. Closing out. We give him the up fake. I like the fact you closed out. Okay, but we went flying. We get him for 2. 5-point game. And it's a beautiful thing. I ain't forgot about what we're doing right now, folks. I ain't forgot about a Bronx Tale. I haven't forgot about it. We just in the mix right now with a great game and great. Okay, Houston off. Okay, Purdue with a chance. But let's come back. You're watching the game. I'm watching the game. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. If you don't like please let me know. Or keep scrolling. I know you got a lot of things going on. It's late, but it's really early because it's Friday. It's a Friday, folks. It's late, but it's really not late. Especially on the West Coast. That person is out of your life for $10 or whatever the nominal cost is. They're out of your life. Step away from them. Distance yourself and keeps it moving. Okay? That's the knowledge and the wisdom from the Bronx Tale. That's how this should have been handled, but it wasn't. And we are where we are. Again, good for the dollars, but I don't know if it's good for the brand. And your brand, right? We live in this all news is, the attention economy, and as long as it gets clicks and you know what I mean, it's good because it's adding revenue. So however you can entertain people, just do it. Me saying that from this, podcast type format, but it's a way of looking at that. But it doesn't mean it's what's best. The best way to handle things overall. See, we didn't need this. This is unprofessional. This is lowbrow. You are on Mount Olympus of the basketball world as a player, Mount Olympus of the sports world as a broadcaster, analyst, journalist. One thing Stephen A. mentioned that's accurate is this should have happened in the locker room, unbeknownst to everybody else. And have it out, argue, yell, scream, but at the end of the day, hopefully come to a resolution. Which the resolution apparently is the feud continues. Wu-Tang. The saga continues. I'm born atomically. Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. Can't stand how I be dropping these mockeries. They're lyrically performing on rock. You know what I mean? I'm dating myself, but still, folks, I don't care. The saga continues here. And fine, it's going to be a storyline, but do we really need to know that LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith do not like each other for whatever reason? Whether it be the GOAT conversation, whether it be because they're both media moguls. You know, they don't like each other. And they don't have a problem telling everybody they don't like each other. And Stephen A. got super duper personal with it, which I didn't really like, frankly. Talking about, hey man, you know what I mean? I'm swinging first. You come up into my bubble, you know what I mean? I'm stealing on you. And what? Now, please let me know. That was such a wild take. You know, was that AI generated? I saw the internet going crazy. What's Auburn doing? Hold on. Let's come back. I'm deep into my Houston game. Heck is going on in Auburn. We got it. I need a refresh. Give me the refresh. Ooh. Auburn up 11. What? That Bruce Pearl, they was just down 6. Auburn up 11 with 4. What? Go get him, Bruce. Respect to Michigan and the Maize and Blue, but this is Auburn year. Respect. Bruce, you can talk about adjustments, talk about I got something up my sleeve for you. Just when you get comfortable. Just when you done got comfortable. I got something for you behind. Okay, you better watch it. Shout out to the Get Out. Took me a long time to see that movie. Like, people were raving about it, and I finally watched it 2 years ago based on a colleague of mine who just kept recommending it over a vacation time. So I was like, I'm going to sit down and watch. I sat down and watched it. I was flabbergasted. I was the soundtrack, the theory behind the movie, how it played out. You had violence, but it wasn't like gratuitous violence. It wasn't like Chainsaw Massacre type stuff. You know what I mean? Which I'm not, you know what I mean? It was you got the violence, but you didn't go over the top violence. But really the theory of the film, like what they were trying, it was just I could see this is just classic is everything can't be a classic, so I'm not gonna go classic. Still a 5-point game, Houston and Purdue. But the Get Out was flat out profound. You know what I mean? But just this idea of, just keep the, and that wasn't even a friends close, enemies close situation. That was just some flat out overall diabolical hoodwinkery. But this LeBron and Stephen A. Smith, remember where I was going. The hook off stuff, okay, we don't really need it. From again, 2 people of your standing, and then the talking about memorial services, Kobe's memorial service specifically, that was a little bit over the line for me in terms of we just don't need that. That's getting deeply personal. Oh damn, Houston. He fell well there. He fell hard, but he fell on his shoulder or like the back, Hard fall, but in basketball, you don't want to use your hands because you want to fall on the hard. You don't want to fall on your shoulder. You want to fall on the tough tissue. Houston is having trouble shooting the ball, dominating the offensive boards. 3-point game. Okay, we continue forward. How much? 13 minutes, plenty of time left. Anybody's ball game. Houston got to generate some. Oh, okay, there we go. Mid-range. Get him. It's amazing how sports can bring people together. Is it all that, do we rely on sports to bring our society, heal our society? No, we don't. That's a fool's bargain. But it's a beautiful thing when we're in the mix, in the battle. Purdue not going nowhere. And we're together. We're cheering. We're going through it together for the team, for the home team. Beautiful thing. Okay, so look with LeBron and Stephen A. It's moved up the DEFCON chart. Most certainly. Is it a 5? No. I hope it doesn't get to a 5. It's like a 3. It's like a 3. In terms of, people getting really personal. Calling people out their name. Right? Boxing videos from decades ago, a decade plus ago, and it's getting real personal and juvenile, frankly. Right? This is what, right, the young people do, coming up and arguing and calling out people's faults and being in people's face because you think that's going to change anything or it's going to make you seem powerful, right? A lot of times the collateral damage negates whatever moments you might have in the midst of the spat. Collateral damage, in terms of other further relationships, and that tarnished and damaged relationship. After you have your moment, where you get the last word, then you just have so much time and, frankly, brokenness to live in. That's not easily mended once those words are said. Right? So we'll see. Hopefully it dies down. This is kind of like a Drake Kendrick situation in the world of basketball. Probably not the first person to have that take. I might be the first one, though. I haven't heard it. Could be. But end of the day, it'd be better if both return to their respective camps, avoided, ignored each other, and we kept it moving. But you, me, LeBron, Stephen A., billionaires, millionaires, thousandaires, debtors, human. Okay, we're human. Okay, and just because you're in one capacity or the other, it doesn't negate that. The lofty and the well-esteemed. Okay, just like people you see around the way in the neighborhood. Okay, you're courteous or you're not courteous. Open the door, you don't open the door. You give people the parking, you give people the right of way. You just break through the stoplight. You're gonna be a good dude. Or you're gonna be an instigator. You're human. Okay, and that's where it all falls. Okay, so we've discussed basketball, folks, and we have basketball. SandCity ain't going anywhere. We an hour, in a half into this, what we're doing. We meaning I. And hopefully anybody that's out there in television land. Later on a on a Friday edition. Michael B. Jordan, Sinners. I see them doing an advertisement for it. Was on Club Shay Shay, which is a great program, great podcast. I say program like we're in the 80s. It's a great podcast. I saw the Andrew Schultz interview. I was watching that. I wanted to see. I was like, I don't really know who Andrew Schultz is. Off the charts. I'm about an hour deep into it. It's phenomenal. It's real quality stuff. Didn't know Andrew Schultz is a comedian, and he goes at people, and he's gonna be on the line, and he's gonna say some things that are insensitive. But got a chance to especially when somebody has like a controversial background like that, and I don't I believe in being politically correct. When he takes a different approach to it, But the bottom line is, dude's from New York, grew up in the city around all types of different people, and he just has all right, Houston up 7 now. I've been impressed by it. So shout out to Club Shay Shay, shout out to Andrew Schultz in that interview. And everybody out there in television land. Later on a Friday, I see the person checking in with me on the Facebook. I appreciate you very much. All the other platforms, the Twitter, the YouTube, and the Twitch are going on. And it's a beautiful thing. We got at least 11 minutes left in this game, plus the commercial breaks. And we got a lot more to get into in terms of the world of sports. My man Deion secured a bag. My man Deion secured a bag. Let's get, because he talked about this. Do we remember? Yeah, can we get that for the people? Can we get that for the people? Let's go ahead and let's because he secured a bag, but for me, I want to go back to the beginnings of the journey when Deion had to speak to some people, had to speak to him.
It's about leading men. That's what he does. He's an incredible family man. I've gotten to know him over the last month, and couldn't be more excited that he's your new head football coach. So with that, I'm going to have Coach Prime come up here and say some words and spend some time with you guys. But let's give him a big Colorado Buffalo welcome.
Possible with that, my man Rick. When I tell you, he is the man, and God called him strategically to reach out to me to make this happen. He didn't convince me. He confirmed to me that this was the place. It wasn't about a bag. I got that. It was all about opportunity to do something that hadn't been done in quite some time. Mm-hmm. And Rick, I'm forever grateful for that opportunity, my man. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you.
Love you too.
For investing in me. I appreciate it. Now let's get to business. You know what, Jackson State, we got to believe. I'm still going to believe because I've been believing ever since I was a shorty. When I told my mother at the age of 7, I was going to make a lot of money. I was going to be rich, and she was going to never have to work another day of life. And my actions lined up with that belief. And I had to stop believing. And I have a problem when young men with everything in front of them don't believe. That's a problem for me. Tremendous problem. Because you can rescue your mama, you can rescue your father, your friends, your loved ones, the homies, anybody who's looked out for you. You have the ability and opportunity to do that, but you got to believe. It's a spirit around this team, around the school that is not traditional. In some kind of way, you guys have accepted it, and you've begun to be complacent with it. And even some of the guys that aren't here that's supposed to be here, those are the ones. All this gonna stop. I still have unfinished business to do at Jackson State because whatever I start, I'm gonna finish. And we gotta go win this championship. We're gonna do that. But then shortly thereafter, I just want you to know, I'm coming. Not to compete, but to win. Not to show up, but to show out. Not to be amongst the rest, but to be the best. I'm coming. I'm flat out coming. This is real. This ain't no ESPN or this ain't one of the networks you just happen to see on. I'm right in front of you. You know why? Because I'm coming. I'm coming to restore, to replace, to re-energize. Some of y'all that are salvageable. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody that sit their butt in the seat ain't gonna have a seat when we get back. But I'm coming. I started, and we're gonna go dominate, and we're gonna work. I'm coming to work and not to play. I'm coming to kill it and not to kick it. I'm coming. So you gotta understand. So when I get back, ain't gonna be no hats, no meetings. Ain't gonna be no hoodies on and no meetings. Ain't gonna be no phones. I wish you would bring a phone in my meeting. It ain't gonna be no earrings in the meeting. Everybody's gonna look like everybody. I'm coming. It's gonna be a different place, a different feel, a different attitude, a different energy, a different work ethic, a different want, a different hunger, a different desire, a different need, a different capacity. It's gonna be a different reach. I'm coming. See, by now you better feel it. You can feel what I'm saying. You can feel where I'm coming from. And you know I ain't playing because I got the credentials to back it up. I'm coming. And you're going to hear me because it's going to be little solid little footsteps that you don't even have to strain. But you're going to know I'm coming. Just the sake of my voice, the commitment to excellence, that there's not going to be any more mediocrity, period. I'm coming. Some of y'all that really got it, that really want it, and really deserve it, and you got to play beside a pool that don't want it, don't deserve it, they don't even love it. I promise you, it's my job to get rid of it. Okay. I love everything about this institution. I mean, the academics prevalence, no crime, beautiful city, beautiful stadium. We've never had nothing of sort to work out in, to train in. Our kids would go absolutely crazy to be in this situation that you're in. But you don't respect it. Okay. You don't want it. Okay. Some of y'all don't even think you deserve it. Okay. And usually when God sends me to a place, he sends me to a place to be a conduit of change. Okay. Uniforms may not even look like they look now. Okay. The cleats, I guarantee it's gonna be some special. Okay. We got a few positions already taken care of because I'm bringing my luggage with me. And it's Louis. Okay. It ain't gonna be no more of the mess that these wonderful fans, the student body, and some of your parents put up with for probably 2 decades now. I'm coming. And when I get here, it's gonna be changed. So I want y'all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that portal and do whatever you're gonna get. Because the more you jump in, the more room you make.
More you jump in. So that was day 1 for Deion. And today, signed massive extension, 10 years. Let's go ahead and get the figures. And then I want to break down, said a number of things. He has, how do we say? Word might be hermeneutical. I don't even know if that is a word. Hermeneutics is the study of preaching. I hadn't seen that. Got the 5-year, $54 million extension. Let's get that up. Check over on the game. Yes, indeed. So that was day 1. And this is today. So Deion, he came along this Colorado in the last 2 years, and he's brought prosperity to them. Heisman Trophy winner, packed house, 4 games. Excuse me. The audience, the eyes, the attention, the winning. Some losses in there as well. And losing his 2 best players in Shedeur and in Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter top 5. Shedeur Sanders looks like a first-round pick. Okay. So you don't find those players everywhere. So there's a good amount of rebuilding. Never mind the transfer portal and the annual changes in college sports, right? His presentation, obviously coming from a faith tradition that is intertwined within his coaching methodology, right? Okay. But just the line about how I'm bringing my bag with my luggage with me and it's loaded. That's going to be the test to see where Colorado goes in this next iteration. Again, without Travis Hunter, without Shedeur Sanders. And the team has won. They're in the Big 12, with, that's had a realignment, if you will, a reformation, probably is the better term. And so, I think success is possible. If he was thrown into the fire of the Big 10 or, of course, the SEC, it's going to be a much higher climb as Purdue cuts the lead to 6. Nonetheless, I respect the fact, for the previously mentioned reasons, not just the talent that he's produced on the field, the winning that he's contributed to, a team that was in the basement, barely if winning a game on an annual basis. So greatly improved from there, greatly improved from a marketability standpoint. Hasn't always been smooth sailing. Been questions about the team, the organization of the team, the conduct of the players, the character of both the leadership and the players. All right, every organization, institution is going to have that cross-examination. Deion Sanders is not the only one. I like the fact that he's staying in Colorado. He could have secured bags other places. Maybe not to this degree, but, let's just keep it going. What am I trying to say? He was able to establish a relationship with Travis Hunter going back into his high school years, which allowed for those two to take the journey together, a journey that culminated with Travis Hunter being the Heisman Trophy winner and a top 5 pick. So whether or not his approach, an old-timey, revivalist approach to coaching, which is something of an anomaly a quarter of the way through the 21st century. If we're talking about Bear Bryant, in the quote-unquote golden age of college football, then that approach may have been more commonplace. Deion walks to the beat of his own drum today with, once again, that style of coaching, that symmetry of his faith background and the high-stakes business of college football. Painter is upset about something. Still a 6-point game. Just under 6 minutes to go. Beautiful thing. Again, not a player-hating program podcast, a congratulating and celebrating. situation that we have here in SandCity Sports. I'm thrilled for Deion and all the $54 million that he got. I'm thrilled. All right. His guys, his sons, his almost adoptive son, and Travis Hunter are moving on. Their success shows that his way works. The question is, no, you don't know because I haven't said anything. Deion Sanders, who's not known for recruiting the high school 5-star athlete. Obviously, the transfer portal is hit and miss. Everybody's not going to hit in the transfer portal, even though there's hundreds and hundreds of players. Talked about it in the last episode. Over 500, and the tournament is not even, halfway over. 500 plus players in the portal. It's hit and miss. Everyone's not going to be a winner. So what I'm saying is how Deion Sanders builds his next Colorado team clearly is going to determine how he's viewed as a coach. The fact that he's gotten all his money is great. The fact that he commands and demands an audience and attention is commendable. But from the coaching and winning of game standpoint, and you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that, it seems outside of the realm of possibility. Like it seems, Colorado has made notable progress. Did they lose their bowl game going away? Have they had some difficult losses? Are we looking at a 4-point game with 5 minutes to go? Straight down to the wire? Houston, Purdue, beautiful thing. Friday night, past midnight on the East Coast. Passion Project, SandCity Sports. No time like the present. Beautiful March Madness basketball. Purdue with the ball down 4. 4:44 to go. Houston known for defense, put up or shut up. Purdue known for efficiency. Now's the time. Kick ball, reset it. All right. So that's my feeling on Coach Prime. I'm coming and my bag is loaded. And he's, how it's going to be. And he, his approach, and again, there's no issue with infusing your faith into your everyday life and to a certain extent your profession. Now, there is a separation of church and state. You do have a captive audience. It is college and right. I'm happy for Deion. I'm happy for Colorado, and I'm looking for them to, to maintain this season what they have built up. It looked like verticality to me. Nonetheless, Purdue to the line, 4 and change, down 4. Down 3. SandCity Sports on this Friday check-in. All right. Shout out to Deion Sanders. His bag, his luggage is with him. And that luggage loaded. That thing loaded. Go ahead, Coach Prime. Get him. And it's a 2-point game. 1 possession ball game. Here we go. Folks, going over to the world of baseball as we come down the home stretch in this great basketball game. Shout out to Juan Soto, the New York Metropolitans, the Amazings, giving the people what they want to see. I'm going to tell you what I enjoy seeing, not just because I pull for the Amazings, being from the great state of New Jersey, needing a baseball team to root for. Shout out to the Yankees. Houston missed a bunny. Secured the offensive rebound. Nobody hit you. You missed the bunny. Let's go. Timeout called. Houston, I got to say, there's been issues with them scoring. They got to score the basketball. Known to be a defensive team. Dominate the boards. I get all that. They got to score it. Point, period, end of story. You're not going to stop everybody, particularly in this NCAA tournament. Duke, firepower for days. Florida, firepower for days. You're not stopping everybody. So we'll see if Houston can, manufacture these stops. And then, of course, we'll see if they can score the basketball. Okay. Shout out to Juan Soto. Serving notice early on. He done secured him a bag. Most certainly. Most definitely. No two ways about it. I like the Mets because of the reasons I gave you. It's a great state of New Jersey. History. This man got injured last year in the World Baseball Championships. Another reason, the Mets, my team to get down. This is how we finish the game, folks. This is how you finish the game. Shout out to Daddy Warbucks and Steve Cohen. We doing, hey. Ain't no reason baseball can't be fun. We missed this last year.
It's my southern slang. I speak it every day. I'm trying to get it poppin' each and every way. It's one nation. On the goons. My goons are stripping all these cats down to the under rules.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Mets.
Let him know.
Number 39.
Let him know.
Edwin Diaz.
I need to see that again. It's not even over. Run that back. The Amazons are up. You know what I mean? We winning the game. You know what time it is. You know what time it is, my people. This is how you finish a baseball game. I mean, this is what we need to see. You see this right here? This is what we're talking about. I know you. This is what we're talking about right here. Shut him down. I feel like I need to go to a Mets game. Let's go, Houston. Clink, clink! Clink, clink! Let's get it. Houston is up 5, 3 and change to go. My man Edwin. This is what we doing. This is how we finish in the game.
Your attention, please. Now pitching
Yes,
for the
rebound
Mets.
action.
Number 39. Edwin Diaz.
We was missing this last year. We got it back. You feel me? Everybody coming together. Democrats, Republicans, independents. It is what it is.
From Trump officials sharing sensitive information.
That's okay. We're not doing politics right now. We're doing SandCity. Purdue timeout. 2:32 to go. 5-point ball game. Yeah, he's back. Beautiful thing. Juan Soto serving notice. We put that thing in the upper deck. we Juan Soto. I got my money and I'm here, honey. I'm here. So hey, can we talk about the Subway Series? I know that's a little bit wild to say because the Dodgers are the Dodgers. No disrespect, Dodgers, you're the Dodgers. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? But we're gonna talk about the Subway Series. Talk about the Subway Series. I remember in college when we had a Subway Series and I ran around in the middle of the night yelling Subway Series. Kind of a quiet college campus. So in retrospect, I feel a little bit uneasy. At the time, you're a college kid, so you're in college, so like you're supposed to have an experience. So it cuts both ways. There's the college experience, and then there's the preparation for the rest of your life. But you know, it was pretty cool having a Subway Series and then being in New York for said Subway Series. I got a kick out of that. Counted myself as fortunate. All right. 5-point game, 2:32 to go. And you know, you can see it, tuned into it as we come down the stretch for this episode of SandCity Sport. Ooh, what a set. Matt Painter drew something up. Get that slammer jammer. Elite. And so here we go. Houston can't convert. One possession game. 1:53 to go, and we are into the mix. Purdue can tie it up. Double up top. Come back. Oh, he runs him off the 3-point line. Ooh, good look. Couldn't get it. It's a good up fake to get a clean look. And so it's anybody's ball game. Anybody ball game right now. 125, 14 on the clock. Houston with the ball, up 3. High screen roll. We'll see. To the basket, blocked. Good defense in the transition. Skip it over, and we're going to get a good set. Purdue is going to get a good set. Don't know if that was a foul. Houston not in the bonus. Looked like he just ran and fell. Good block. Offensive, defensive substitution. 103 remaining, folks. It is what it is right now. It is what it is. Like I said, we got 2 top flight coaches. Good no call on the officiating. Good double. Swinging it. Got the look. Long. Offensive rebound. Settle. 51 seconds. They're going to get a good set. They're going to get a good set. They're going to do it together. Brush screen. ISO 1-on-1. Kicking out. Good closeout. Bang! Wow. We talked about it. Houston's going to call it a timeout. Wow. It's March Madness. It was a decent closeout, but he got a look, right? They closed out. They got out to him, but he got his look. High arching. Bang! Tied up. Under 30 seconds to go. Houston with the ball. It's on. Hey. I mean, it's on you. Let's get it, Houston. Not the critic that counts. You're in the arena. For me, they've had trouble scoring. Don't let my little take have too much say or any say. Good closeout. A very good shot. Got a hand up, high hands. Yes. All right, here it is. 29, and fans in Houston are a little bit. All these games are just crazy. You can't duplicate. I see a lot of cowboy hats in the building. I love it. They wear the cowboy. They wear the cowboy hat in the building. Everything's big. Everything's bigger in Texas. They covered the game. They got that hat. We ain't taking the hat off. We're doing it big. All right, let's get it. All right, so Houston can essentially they look like they're gonna do the right thing and just kill the clock. About a 3-second differential. There you go. Okay. 7 seconds, 6, 5. No. Tip. Oh. I love that they didn't call the flop because that's what it was. Great officiating. That was a flop. Yep. I stand corrected. He extended. Let's take a look at that again. I'm good with the no call there. Looks like Purdue's ball. They can review this. It looks like it's going to go. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be Houston's ball. That's a tough one because I still like the no call. He did extend his arm a little, So he's driving, when you're driving at the angle, and, he's driving at an angle, the guy's sliding at an angle, and he gave him this. That does create space. And then he turned back around. I don't have a problem with the no call there. I don't. I don't have a problem with it based on, and did he have a little bit? It's close. By the letter, yes. By the spirit, was an advantage gained because he pushes. He's going this way, and he pushes him that way, and then spins back around, right? So there was an advantage gained. If you push off, but then you go right back that same direction, then the distance is closed. But he pushed, and then so he pushed the guy, and he ends up falling. But my thinking is, if you didn't fall, where would you be? Here we go. No yawning on SandCity Sports. Last play. Back to him. Oh, my goodness. Kelvin Sampson. Passed it back to the inbounder. And he scored it. Heck of a play. Oh, wow. We talk about coaching. They left the inbounder. All right, there's still time. 8.8 seconds to go. Now, see, this is one of these things you can't prove. Well, I'm not going to, what I would say is, oh, well, if it would have been an offensive foul, like, no, because he missed the basket is the bottom line. And you had a chance for the rebound action. So, no. If you made the basket, then you say, but then you know what I mean? That's how you kind of weigh these things out. He extended. It created an advantage to create space. So it could have been called a foul there to end the play and give you possession. At the same time, he missed the basket. So there's no advantage gained. You had an equal opportunity for the rebound action. You did not get the rebound action. We move on. If he makes the basket, now we have a conversation about having gained an advantage because of an illegal action, and the referee, so in officiating, if you give some contact here, then you got to give some contact there to be consistent. You don't want to give contact on one end and then call it by the letter on the other end. No. You got to be consistent on both ends. But to be clear, folks, from an official, which is me, if we're going to talk about this, because, right, there was a 50-50 call. It could have been he's driving at an angle. He extends. Now, the guy fell, which, I think your momentum, he fell because of the contact and he was kind of sliding. Oh, man. Houston survives. What a great game. What a great game. Winning in misery. Winning misery, coaching. They went ahead to double. They left the inbound. They just stepped in and said, okay. They went to double whoever they were doubling, and that inbounder was just chilling. Purdue, do they care about basketball in Indiana? Is basketball important in Indiana? I wasn't sure. Oh, man. Houston and Tennessee, 1-2. We got chalk. Two veteran, deserving coaches going to go toe-to-toe for a shot at the Final Four. Wouldn't have it any other way. And again, right. I'm saying it. I'll say it again. Let's listen to Kelvin Sampson here. Always like to listen.
We called it 50, we called it 51, and there's three different reads. They did a good job taking the first one, but we got to the second one, and Joe made the right read with the step in, so great execution. What's it say that the one guy you added to this roster, Milos, is the one that makes that game win? Yeah, he's come so far, he broke his nose, had surgery in October, early November. But his growth has mirrored our growth. As he's gotten better, we've gotten better. So really proud of that young man. As I am this entire team. Unbelievable
Kelvin with the grandson.
And you joined this team in large part because you wanted to have a March moment. You just had one. Players dream of this. For sure. How does the reality match it? Nah, it feels good. Definitely dreaming of this as a kid playing in March. I'm just excited we was able to get the W. So we got to keep going. Are you ready for an Elite Eight matchup in Tennessee? Yeah, let's do it. Congratulations. Enjoy. Appreciate it. You see the love these Houston teammates have for each other, and Calvin Sampson said they worked on that at the public practice.
The aura. That when you win, you have aura. I guess so. Winning in misery. Here on the SandCity Sports, we're over 2 hours on this Saturday edition. Winding down. A couple things I wanted to get to. Let's see what we can do here. I wanna, and this is one thing for people on IG. When I go ahead and when I go to my clip, sometimes it closes out the IG. So just if that's what happens, it happens. We're gonna conclude. It's been a long episode and a good episode. Beautiful thing. How do you want to do this? Speaking of aura, we're going to conclude with our college athletes. And sure enough, the IG live is done when I open up another IG. So that's just how that had to go down. But I want to do 2 things. We got 2 clips in conclusion as we get on up out of here. All right. So this is Haley Van Lith, and just talking about her journey in college athletics.
Exposed to the media and social media at such a young age. I really struggled with mental health things. When I was younger and in college, I was suicidal. I was heavily medicated, and I felt trapped, and I didn't, and you would never know because I was having a ton of success on the court, but internally and in life in general, like I was ready to be done. That's what I mean when I speak on suffering and pain. It's like I didn't even want to live. So like to come from that to this is incredible. I've been praying all year, like, God, I know you've given me this testimony to share it with the world and shed your light. And I think that this is the year and this is the moment that he wants people to know my story and how he's just taken me literally from the depths of wanting to die to this moment of loving life. The way that I got exposed to the media and social media at such a young age, I really struggled with mental health things. When I was younger and in college, I was suicidal. I was heavily medicated, and I felt trapped, and I didn't, and you would never know because I was having a ton of success on the court, but internally and in life in general, like I was ready to be done. That's what I mean when I speak on suffering and pain. It's like I didn't even want to live. So like to come from that to this is incredible. I've been praying all year, like, God, I know you've given me this testimony to share it with the world and shed your light. And I think that this is the year and this is the moment that he wants people to know my story and how he's just taken me literally from the depths of wanting to die to this moment of loving life. The way that I got exposed.
Shout out to Haley Van Lith. sharing her story, her mental health journey, right? We just saw the heights there. An outstanding game between two proud programs, exceedingly well-coached teams, right? And, but you see the highlight and the game winner and the interview, okay? But to be at that level, the pressure, right? 99% going pro in something other than sports. Yeah, the human element. So shout out to Haley Van Lith for sharing, and then the work, that kind of goes ahead. And one more, this is pretty cool because even though spring has just gotten going, I don't mind telling you, I'm a huge Cape League fan. We're going to be talking about Cape League. We're going to be talking about Cape League most certainly when we get into the summer. And this player, Cam Smith, as you'll see, was a Harbor Hawk 2 years ago. So, yeah, this is Cam Smith, Major League Baseball player, former Hyannis Harbor Hawk.
Just the special nature of having your mom deliver that. You said you broke down, but can you just take us through the idea that she would be the one, after all she did for you, to tell you that you made the major leagues?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
At one point it was just me and her in the house. She struggled to take me to baseball games and practice, and I'm just happy to do it for her. I'm very blessed.
Just the special nature of having your mom deliver that. You said you broke down, but can you just take us through the idea that she would be the one, after all she did for you, to tell you that you made the major leagues?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
At one point it was just me and her in the house. She struggled to take me to baseball games and practice, and I'm just happy to do it for her. I'm very blessed.
Just the special nature of having your mom.
Major League Baseball player, Hyannis Harbor Hawk alum, one of many to go on, have success in the major leagues. So it's a beautiful thing. Go get him, Cam. Harbor Hawk's going to be cheering for you. All right, folks. Like I said, it's a beautiful thing. March Madness, we got a great game. More to come. And we had to go ahead and get this Friday check-in, this Friday episode going on. Kelvin Sampson, Houston Cougars advancing. Matt Painter, Purdue Boilermakers, great game, great season. Made it to the Natty last year. Aren't going anywhere. And we just say we're in the midst of the tournament, and just on the journey as we get into these spring months and move forward. Again, hope everybody out there is having a good evening, good night. A little bit late, but it's Friday, so we're doing what we're doing. Shout out to and congratulations out west to my brother and his fiance on the birth of their daughter. Congratulations. Beautiful thing, big achievement, wonderful. Just want to get that in there. And that's going to do it. Folks, I am your host, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. Thank you so much for tuning in to SandCity Sports. And, of course, we will see you again the next time. Peace.